Hey y'all, my name is Jim Barrow, and I can be reached at jimbarrowactor@outlook.com, or you can visit my website, www.jimbarrowactor.com. Today my pieces will be Arthur from King John and Trinculo from The Tempest, and then I'll do the Midsummer sides number 4 in the role of Bottom, and the Romeo and Juliet sides number 5 in the role of Romeo. Thanks for watching, y'all. Must you with hot irons burn out both mine eyes? Have you the heart? When your head did but ache, I knit my handkerchief about your brow. The best I had. A princess wrought it me, and I never did ask it you again. And with my hand at midnight held your head, like the watchful minutes of the hours. Still and anon cheered up the heavy time, saying, where lies your grief, and what ails you? Many a poor man's son would have lain still and never said a loving word to you. But you at your sick service had a prince. Nay, you may think my love was crafty love, and call it cunning. Do, and if you will, if heaven think it so that you must use me ill, why then you must. Will you put out mine eyes? These eyes that never did, nor never shall so much as frown on you? Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all. And another storm brewing, I hear it singing in the wind. Yon same cloud, yon huge, dark one, looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. If it should thunder as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but to fall by the pailfuls. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish. Oh, he smells like a fish. A very ancient fish. A kind of not of the newest poor John. Strange fish. Were I in England now, as once I was. And had but this fish painted, not a holiday fool there would give but a piece of silver to see it. There might this monster make a man. Any monster there makes a man. They that will not give a dolt to relieve a lame beggar will lay out 10 to see a dead Indian. A strange fish. Legs like a man, but his fins like arms. Warm. Oh, my troth. I do now let loose my opinion. This is not a fish, but an islander that hath recently been struck by a thunderbolt. Oh, alas, the storm has come again! I must creep under his gabardine. There's no other shelter hereabout. Oh, misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. Are we all met?
Pat, and here's a marvelous convenient place for our rehearsal. This green plot shall be our stage, this hawthorn brake our tiring house, and we will do it in action as we will do it before the Duke.
Peter Quince?
What sayst thou, Bully Bottom?
There are things in this comedy of Pyramus and Thisbe that will never please. First of all, Pyramus must draw a sword to kill himself with, which the ladies cannot abide. How answer you that?
By lack and a parlous fear. I believe we must leave the killing out when all is done.
Not a whit. I have a device to make all well. Write me a prologue, and let the prologue seem to state that we will do no killing with our swords, and for the more better assurance, tell them that I, Pyramus, am not Pyramus, but Bottom, the weaver. This will put them out of fear.
Well, we will have such a prologue, and it shall be written in 8 and 6.
No. Let it be 2 more. Let it be written in 8 and 8.
Will not the ladies be afeard of the lion? I fear it, I promise you.
Masters, you ought to look to it. To bring in, God shield us, a lion among ladies is a most dreadful thing, for there is no more fearful, wild fowl than your lion living, and we ought to look to it.
Therefore another prologue must tell he is not a lion.
Nay, he must name his name, and, half his face must be seen through his lion's neck, and he himself must name his name and say thus or to the same effect.
Ladies,
Or,
fair ladies, I would entreat you,
or,
I would beg you,
or,
I implore you, not to fear, not to tremble. If you think I come as a lion, the more pity for my life. I am not a lion, but a man, as other men are.
and then tell them plainly, he is
Snug.
The
Joiner.
Snug the joiner.
Well, it shall be so.
I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment banished from his lips, not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banish it? Oh, be merciful. Say death, for exile hath more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say banish it.
Here from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence, banished is banished from the world, and world's exile is death. Then banishment is death, mistermed, making death banished.
deadly sin, O rude unthankfulness! Thy fault our law calls death, but the kind prince, taking thy part, hath rushed aside the law, and turned that black word death to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
'Tis torture, not mercy. Heaven is here, wherever Juliet lives, and every cat and mouse and dog and every unworthy thing may look on her but Romeo. More validity, more honor, more courtship lies and carrion flies than Romeo. They may seize upon the white wonder of dear Juliet's hand, or steal immortal blessings from her lips, who e'en in bestial and pure modesty, thinking their own kisses sin. But Romeo may not. He is banished. Flies may do this, but I from this must fly. They are free men, but I am banished. And sayest thou that exile is not death? Oh, hast thou poison mixed, some sharp brown dagger, some sudden means of death, though ne'er so mean, to say banishment? Banishment? Oh, friar, the damned use that word in hell. Howling affronts it. How canst thou, being a divine, a ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and a friend confessed, to mangle me with that word, banish it?
Now, fond madman, hear me speak a little.
Oh, thou wilt speak of banish it.
I'll give thee armor to keep off that word, adversity's sweet milk, philosophy to comfort thee, or thou art banished.
Yet again, banish it. Hang up on philosophy. Unless philosophy can render Juliet, displace a town, reverse a prince's judgment. It helps not, prevails not. Do not talk.
Oh, then I see that
Madmen have no ears.
Why should they, when wise men have no eyes?
Let me dispute with thee of thy estate.
How canst thou talk of what thou knowest not? Were thou as young as I, Juliet, thy love, newly married but an hour, Tybalt murdered, and thyself banished, then mightest thou talk. Then mightest thou fall to the ground and tear thy